West Coast thing is something that the journalists and people are making up.
Pac told the interviewer that this so-called East Coast versus West Coast war was something that the media had been making up so they could get paid off of it for months and months on end. He said the journalists were perpetuating the whole thing on purpose just so it could drag out and keep the drama going and the ratings climbing. He said if that beef did not really exist, then he and Biggie would not be sitting there in that studio having to talk about it at all.
We'll try to be better role models, and y'all try to stop putting that drama out there.
Then Snoop chimed in and looked directly at Pac and told him they both had power, they both had responsibility, they both needed to exercise greater restraint with the way they moved through the industry. 3 days after that interview aired, one of them would be dead, and the very last real conversation those two brothers ever had would end without either one of them getting the chance to say sorry to the other. But before we get to that terrible night in Las Vegas, we have to talk about what happened at a radio station in New York City, because that radio station was really where all the tension between Snoop and Pac started building up in the first place. That was the moment where one simple, honest answer from Snoop planted a seed of hurt that would grow into the worst kind of silence between best friends. Snoop had gone up to a radio station and sat down for an interview with the legendary DJ Angie Martinez, and in the middle of that interview, Angie asked Snoop a question that seemed simple enough on the surface, but was actually loaded with a whole lot of danger considering the times they were living in. She asked him how he felt about Puffy and Biggie. Now Snoop had a big choice to make in that split second. He could have played the game. He could have said what everyone in the industry expected him to say. He could have kept the beef going the way everyone thought he was supposed to keep it going. But Snoop did what Snoop always does. He told the truth. He told the world exactly what was in his heart, without holding back, without playing games with anybody. He said Puffy and Biggie were his homeboys and that he loved them. And in that one single moment, the whole atmosphere around him started to shift. Not right away, of course. Not while the microphones were still recording and the cameras were still rolling. But the second Snoop got back to the hotel where he and Pac were staying together, he could feel that something in the air had changed in a way he had never felt before with his best friend. Snoop tells the story of what happened next in a way that still makes your heart hurt when you listen to it. He said that Pac did not come to see him personally like he normally would. Instead, Pac sent his homeboy Motown up to Snoop's room to grab some weed from him. Now, that might sound like a small thing on the surface. Just one man sending another man to pick up some smoke, but it was not a small thing at all. That was actually a huge deal, a massive signal, a big red flag waving right in Snoop's face. Because for the entire time these two men had been friends, that was not how they moved around each other. They came to each other, they sat with each other, they shared everything face to face, they talked, they chopped it up, they rolled up together. So when Motown showed up at that hotel room door instead of Pac himself, Snoop knew right away, deep down in his gut, that something was very wrong between them. Snoop said his exact reaction in that moment was to tell Motown, tell him to come up here. He wanted his best friend to come to his room so they could talk it out like men. But Motown just looked at him and told him, he ain't coming up here. Give me the bud, I'm gonna take it to him. That is a moment that stays with you forever, if you have ever been through anything like it. That is a moment where you know your friend is upset with you, but nobody has told you exactly why yet. That is a moment where every second of silence starts to feel like a whole hour has passed you by. Snoop said he felt funny about the whole thing right away. Something was off in the air of that hotel. And then his own uncle came and told him that people were downstairs talking and whispering, saying stuff about the things Snoop had said on that Angie Martinez radio interview. The whole thing was starting to look and feel like a bad situation was quietly building up, brick by brick.